Coach Khalil here. I hope everyone's having fun. Hope you're enjoying your time here at BU Stay True. It's actually it's mind-blowing that you guys are all here during this tough times. I'm really happy for everyone. Hope your water break was fine. Hope it was good, but we're going to get to work here. Give you a little bit of break starting to go off, but this is the defensive segment. If you watched the clip prior to this, you know I'm a defensive, I wouldn't say specialist, but that's something I pride myself on. So like I said, water break's good. We'll give you a little more break. We're going to watch some film. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to watch a little bit of film. Two people I want to watch is Avery Bradley, who plays currently for the Los Angeles Lakers, and Tony Allen, who's retired, first team all defense, awesome guy. So I just want to share my screen, watch some film, just to break it down and give you some guys misconceptions about defense and what defense is. And later on, you'll see when I step outside and show you guys some drills. But share my screen now. Okay. So first off, I want to start off with Tony Allen, awesome guy. He someone that motivated me when I was in college, but definitely I want to show you his defensive tactics and the misconceptions people have with defense. So I'm going to play it first and show you guys.
Defensive player, Tony Allen, and what makes him one of the fiercest defenders in the NBA. The first thing I'll always look at is the defensive stance, how they play on the ball. And with Tony Allen, you can see he barely is in a stance at all. He's really playing straight up with little bend at the knees or hip. You also see this kind of stance used by guys.
So that's something I wanted to talk about. And there's no right or wrong way to this to the answer or questioning how to play defense. It's more perfectly what you prefer as a defender. But as you can see here, Tony Allen's standing straight up. And not necessarily straight up, but he has the knees bent a little. Often, you know, when you're learning, you get low as you can, which is fine, but this allows more mobility. And this is something I did personally. I wasn't too low to the ground because if a person makes a move, I felt like I was too low and my hips weren't wide enough and I wasn't flexible enough to get to the next spot. So, you know, people can tell you, hey, don't dribble too high. Some people allow you to dribble too high, but this is how I deal with the defensive end. So he's standing straight up. Well, not sure straight up, but he's standing with his knees bent a little. And it gives him mobility, as you can see coming up. Look.
Guys like Scottie Pippen and Gary Payton. This stance has the advantage of being able to turn.
So see here, you see how he's standing. Scottie Pippen, one of the, elite defenders known.
This stance has the advantage of being able to turn and run.
So there, if you're a little bit lower as you're taught, lower than your defender, he wouldn't be able to, move as well as
able to turn and run very quickly. And that's really because there's no defensive stance to break. You're always in position.
So that's the important thing. There's no defensive stance to break. You're always in position. So when you're low, hands are out, they can either jab right, now you're there, and you're shifting left. Now you have to stand up to get to the next spot. If you're standing up already, you're already there. So it's just something to do. And I'm not saying if your prior coach or the way you learn is not wrong. I'm just saying giving you better options to it.
To run and cut your opponent off. Which might explain why so many of Tony Allen's steals on ball come from behind the opponent.
So that's just something I wanted to get to you guys about on-ball defense. Next, we're going to switch it up to Avery Bradley and off-ball defense. This is kind of important. People think just because, it wasn't my man, it's just as important. Helping the helper, helping the teams are only good as their team defense rather than individual defense. If you're a good individual defender, you can make your team better by playing help defense, as the Celtics do.
Understand what the Celtics try to do on defense, and that's to play more in the gaps. You can see Avery Bradley and Isaiah Thomas are both in the gaps, and what that means is that you are sagging the line between the ball and your man. That puts you in the gap.
So this is something we kind of did, myself and Coach Drew, Coach James, Coach Jason did it at MSV. They allowed someone who's probably the best defender on the ball, which was probably the best defender on the ball. But since he's pressuring the ball, making them, turn the ball over or, watch the shot clock, make it come over to half court with a low shot clock, make them rush. These guys are in the gap just in case he gets beat. And it's okay to get beat as a good defender. Don't worry about being beat. People were like, oh, he beat me. That's fine. you're gonna get beat if you're a good defender. Not a lot of times, but like majority of the time, you can get beaten. That's fine because you rely on all this help right here. And Avery Bradley's doing a good job.
So now the
And so
Celtics can put a lot of ball pressure on the ball, prevent a drive towards the basket.
Now you see, Avery Bradley is considered 2 passes away, so he wants to be in help. But one thing you have to realize: if you have a shooter here, you have to be maybe a little step closer. It's just knowing the personnel. So if this is a non-shooter, you can back up a little bit because you know he's not going to shoot the 3. But if you know this is a shooter, you'll be like that. And let's keep it going.
But what that also means for Avery Bradley is that he has the chance not only to—
So you see how one more quick point. So he's considered 1 pass away here. He's denying, and he's relying on the help here. He's denying.
For Avery Bradley,
as soon as they go 2 passes away, 1, 2, look what he does.
Is that he has the chance
He
not only—
realizes it. Now he's not a threat out there unless that's Dame Lillard or Steph Curry. I'm not worried about anyone out there. So he comes in to help.
to read passing lanes.
Now he can read the passing lane. Still know where his man is. Still knows where this guy is. He's in help. So God forbid he didn't get this steal, or he did catch him for him. He would be here to help.
But to jump them.
There you go.
Always rotating from the weak side of the floor to take away the roll man in the pick and
So now he's considered 2 passes away, so he should be in his right position.
roll.
He sees it. Eyes are on the swivel. Now, the best part of defense is anticipation. That's where your IQ, and now something I was good at, anticipation. So taking a risk. Sometimes you don't get this, and coach will pull you out the game, but it's a risk-reward type of thing. You go for it, you risk it, and it's a great play. If you don't get it, you have to hope and pray that this guy may be able to help you or help over. But it's worth it if you know what you're doing.
You can see his rotations in this play when he rotates down to the roll man.
Now, necessarily, that's not his help, realistically. This is this guy's help. But being a great teammate, being a great defender, he takes responsibility.
And then as soon as the ball handler picks up—
Now, he just did his teammate a favor completely. Now, he sees it, IQ very high, sees it.
his dribble, he sprints back to the
He goes back.
guy he was initially covering.
He gets the steal. So I just wanted to break some of that down to you guys. Stop sharing. I just wanted to break that some of down to you guys. There's a lot of, misconceptions about defense and, if I can score the ball, I really don't need to play defense. That's completely wrong. You need to play both sides of the ball. And like I said, if you want to be a good player, a great player, you should take pride in playing defense. Even if you're not the best player, you should take pride in defense and get yourself minutes. I wasn't growing up, I wasn't skilled offensively, but I was skilled enough to, get on the court, but to gain minutes and gain more time. I made sure I was on the defensive end, make sure I worked hard. And at the end of the day, it's just an energy booster. It's everything. So I'm going to get into my second part now. I'm going to step outside, and I'm going to show you guys some drills.